Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Nikki.
Good morning.
Thank you for your patience and us getting ready. Appreciate it. I'm trying to help someone else get in right now, Martin. So, Mark, but if you could put up the scripture of the day, it'd be great because I can't see it. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Pretty good.
You're loud and clear.
All right. If you can share the room, it'd be great. I'm still trying to get a new person in on Chatter, so give me a couple minutes here. Mr. Mark, can you hear me, Mark? Can you hear me, Mark? Perfect, perfect. All right, Mark, let's go ahead and hit the worldview in 5 minutes. That would be great. And then we'll move on from there. Thank you. Welcome, Michael. Just make sure you can be heard. If you come off mic, I just want to make sure we can hear you, Michael. You can put in a chat too, Michael, if you can hear us or not. Okay, perfect. Yep, we can hear you. Okay, good morning again. And what we do here in Inside Out Living, our format every morning will be the same. We'll have the word of the day, the scripture of the day, and then we will go through the worldview in 5 minutes, which is aired on 125 radio stations all over the U.S. and around the world. It just gives us a different perspective of outside of the mainstream media, but it gives us things that are happening, which we call in the biblical world, but also where we should be voting, all those who do believe in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence. The power of core values. What we're talking about today is the power of core values from the inside out. And we're going to go ahead and watch the next number 2 video on Inside Out Living. And then after that, we'll open up for conversation. And if you can all share the room, up at the top, you see that little arrow right next to the minus sign. If you hit that top, and it's going to go, there's a share button, share to community. If you hit that, it is share this room to the community. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much. And Mark, you can play video number 2. Good morning. Good morning, Endor. Good morning. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Virgil. Welcome. Hope everybody's doing well. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we could hear you.
Excellent, excellent. Did any of you, what did some of the things you guys picked up? I want to share this with you too. We have that part of our documentation that says the laws of nature and nature's God. How many of you ever heard that term? The laws of nature and nature's God.
That's the first time I ever heard that statement.
Okay, Nikki, Tom, or Thandor or Virgil, have you ever heard that term before? Are we having technical difficulty? Mark, can you hear me? Okay. I just want to make sure. I know sometimes Virgil's working. Thandor, Tom, I just want to make sure you guys can at least hear me. If not, put it in the chat so then I know we are okay. So one of the things with the laws of nature, go ahead. Can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah, I can hear you. Where's the chat at? If you don't mind telling me.
Which chat?
You said put it in the chat. I thought maybe there was like a note section or you could.
Yeah. So down on so down on the bottom panel, you see the smiley face, and right next to the smiley face, there's three dots. The three dots, that's the chat area.
I got you. Thanks,
That's
brother.
the chat.
Thank
you. Okay. So the laws of nature and nature's God is part of our documentation, guys. Hey, Mike, you have to mute, Mike.
Okay, 1 second.
No problem.
Oh, here we go. All right.
There you go. So one of the things that I've learned over time is when we don't follow the laws of nature and nature's God, then we are in chaos or we out of order. And a lot of times, especially in our lives, if we don't know the laws that we're going to use to govern our lives, these are the things that's going to cause us to have conflict. Because everything in my 60 years of living has all been governed by laws. When I was young, it was the law of my father or the instruction of my father, the law of my mother. Why? Because that's the home I grew up in, the community I was first in, and that community operated on a set of principles or a set of laws, which was my family. You know, being a young kid, you know, being home with a curfew, all those things were parameters to try to help me be a good young man, you know, as you grow. Then as you get older, you want to get a license. You know, people want to go out and drive. Well, obviously, there's rules of the road. We want to take this test. These are the laws of the road. And this is what I try to teach my children when they were younger. Learn the laws of the road. Why? Because the laws of the road will also explain to us how to govern our lives. Like there are laws of the road that says one way or do not enter. And so I start to take these principles and say, what areas of my life will I not enter? I do not want to enter here. I don't want to enter there. Why? Because do not enter, and we've heard this before, it says high voltage danger on the other side. Or like one of my professors said this one day, he said, why do they have guardrails on the highways or the freeways? It's easier to hit the guardrail because the guardrail will prevent you from going over the side of the hill to the other side. So there's more danger on the other side of the guardrail than hitting the guardrail. And how many guardrails do we have in our life? Where are we guiding our life? That's why this is called the power of core values. Where are your core values? What that? And only you can determine that, okay? But are the values universal, like the laws of nature? These are universal laws. Birds have flight built into them automatically. Fish have swim built into them automatically. They don't have to go to bird school to learn to fly. They don't have to go to fish school to learn to swim. The same thing with us as individuals. We have the law of choice. And whatever choice that we make, or what people call the right to choose or the free will, what comes with that is consequences. And a lot of us from the inside out do not think of that as just, oh, I have a right to do whatever I want. Like I hear some people in 2024 says, is my truth. Oh, well, I always ask this question, when did you design truth and when did you get a truth? Because when I arrived here 60 years ago, everything was already here. So I either cooperate with all the laws that's already here, or I'm going to get punished by what I don't cooperate with. And I hope that makes sense. And if anybody wants to share, Virgil, are you available, or Thandor, or Tom? You guys want to add anything? Or Nikki, or Mark? So to make sure. I just want to acknowledge that you guys are here so that you guys can hear me. Virgil?
I am here, and I don't have anything to add right now. I hope I'm able to just continue this. I'll go ahead and chime in when I ask.
All right. No, I appreciate it. I just want to hear your voice. Thandor, are you there? Or Tom? Just are present. I don't think I've ever seen Tom before. Hello, Tom.
Yeah, it's my first time to come to your room, Edward. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, where are you from, Tom?
I'm from Egypt, North Africa.
Oh, okay. I've been to Cairo. I've been to Alexander. I've been to Luxor.
No, really?
Yeah. yes. I love Egypt, man. No, actually, our tour guide actually came to visit us after we were there. He came to California.
Well, you know, I love it when people tell me that they visit Egypt, and I hope your experience with Egypt was, was very good, actually.
Oh, Tom, absolutely amazing. I'm still fascinated by Cairo, in just the beauty of the city and the exciting time in the night. It was pretty amazing. It's a lot different than downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, but next time you visit Egypt, we will meet. Okay? So,
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So thank you. How did you find this space, Tom? Do you see it in the hallway, or did you see the title?
Actually, I have seen this your room 30 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago, but I have been invited to a room with some people. They wanted to make fun of something, so they invited me to witness that. So I came back to your room to know, because you sent me your poster.
Yes.
Remember that day? Yeah, you sent me your poster, so I wanted to know what you guys do, and your title, the power of core values, and that's one thing. Actually, I'm interested in people's behavior, how people, do what they do. I'm Arab. I'm from a different culture, different country, and I'm new to this gathering of many people from different countries. None of them is Arab, or I haven't met much Arab people here, so I'm really interested in in learning or knowing. I don't want to be exaggerating, but it's a great thing. So yeah, I'm enjoying the space, and thank you for having me. And I will be enjoying your room, and I will interact. When I have something triggers me to you. Yeah. Thank you.
No, I appreciate that, Tom. Thank you very much. And I like the word that you said is behavior. It's very important that we watch how people behave, not what they say. A lot of people say a lot of things, but when we start to look at people's behavior, it changes the outcome. So I think that's important, and it gives us a lot more clarity, because then you know where people really stand by what they do, not what they say. We can all say certain things, but the behavior has to coincide. So how I look at it is, my words should equal my deeds, my actions, and my behavior. So my words are only the beginning of what, like when I asked my wife to marry me, that was just the words. When she said yes, and then we got married, that was just the beginning of how I was going to behave for the rest of my life, because now I'm married. So it's a completely different thing of me just saying something versus me acting it out. That's a core value. You know, when you hear people say, when they say, I'm married, they're talking about their behavior, not their words. See, we say vows, but vows are words, but vows should be an inward conviction for outside behavior. So I think that right there help us. Mark, we should be queued up for the next video or the next video, real nice little clip, and we should be good to go. Hey there, Mark. All right, no problem. If any of you know about the laws of technology, you understand some of this stuff, especially with the new app of Chatter and trying to learn how to navigate everything. It's a little bit of time, but he has it there. Thank you, Mark. Hello, hello, hello. And how do you pronounce your name? Is it Menhoff? Menhoff? Can you? How do you pronounce it?
Morphe.
Mafi. Okay, Mafi. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you coming through to the panel. We
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having.
No problem. Is there anything that you picked up from that that you thought was pretty valuable?
Yes, I do. I think just having a bit of a deeper understanding and standing back and evaluating certain situations. There's a lot of growth in that and a level of understanding that comes with that.
Yeah, that is true. The inside out living is a very important area because you're basing everything you choose on your value, not on your feelings. You know, one of the things he said in there, how many people today live based on how they feel, not on who they are? You know, and if you can live your life based on who you are, you're going to have a much better outcome. And too many people today live their life based on how they feel, not who they are. And that gets a little shaky because you may not feel like doing something like, you know, every morning you got to get up. Do you feel like going to work? It doesn't matter how you feel. You made a commitment to the employer that you're going to show up. So, but a lot of people say, well, I don't feel like it. well, I have to make my value bigger than my feeling. So my behavior will be acting on my value, not on how I feel. And I hope that makes sense because that's the key.
Yes,
Anyone else? Go ahead.
that's very profound, and that's certainly something that I'm only just kind of discovering in my life. So now it's a real good teaching point for me. So I really appreciate being here and being able to be part of this and listen to things like this because it's so beneficial to my growth.
Oh no, that's good. Where are you from? I hear the little accent.
I'm Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. Welcome. Now, how did you hear about Chatter in Zimbabwe?
I don't live in Zimbabwe. I live in the UK, and a friend that lives in Ireland kind of invited me to a prayer group. So I've joined a prayer group, and today I just thought, let me just have a look and see if there's any kind of rooms that I can grow myself while I'm, busy pottering around and doing things and listening and just absorbing everything so that I can determine a better path and a brighter destiny for myself.
Nice, nice. Now, how did you see the room? Did you see the room in the corridor, or did you see the title? How did you see this panel?
I saw the room in the corridor and then I looked at the title because it was the title really that drew me in because it is stuff that I'm working on within myself and just looking at things that I can change with my shadow self. So I'm trying to gain a deeper understanding of that as well.
Okay, that's good. So let me ask everyone this, and I want you to chime in here. What is your favorite brand? Like if you have a brand from the UK or a brand from Zimbabwe, what would be a brand that is recognizable to, like if I say to you, there's a brand here in the United States called Starbucks, you know, Starbucks coffee. It's a brand. You can look at the cup now and people know that's a brand, right? Or right now, Apple is a brand, or we have Samsung, Galaxy, Android's a brand. These are different brands, right?
Yes.
So when we think of our lives, do we think of our lives as brands? Or do we think that we come here, like you said, you're working on something? So this is my question. Are we working on something because we don't think that we're already what we are? Or are we trying to become something that we're not aware of that we have. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think it's more awareness of not who I am for me personally. And that is not because I don't understand myself or believe in myself. It's just certain things that have happened and caught up with me over time that I feel I need to kind of look a bit deeper into. So, get into the root of some of the issues that I've faced in life, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. The difference that we have, though, is if I look at a brand, most companies do not let something off of the assembly line or put their stamp of approval on it until it has reached its maximum opportunity to be released into the marketplace. I personally believe that when I was in my mother's womb, that everything I've needed for life, I was already packaged with it. What I have to do is make sure I use it. So I don't believe that I came off the assembly line of life and I am deficient in certain things. I believe that we all already are prepackaged with all the things that we have. And I think the more that you prepackaged it and you know who you are, now it's better to operate from the brand standpoint. So how I look at it is this way, because I believe in biblical principles. It says, I was created, and this is what I tell my children, I was created in the image of God. That's a brand, okay? Image is a brand.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't know my image and I don't know the image that I was created in, then I'm going to live a life less than the image that I'm supposed to be bearing. Like I have a 9-year-old granddaughter, and I tell her all the time, is that bearing the image? And she go, no, G-Pa. She called me G-Pa. No, G-Pa. I said, see, so I got to be an image bearer, because if I believe that I'm a brand and I'm supposed to be a certain way, then I have to act that way. Like I'm a married man, right? That's a brand. That's a brand, right? So for me, how do married men act? There's a behavior that married men should have. Why? Because they're married. And if you're a father, you want your children to look up to you because of the brand that you're portraying, how you treat their mother, how you treat the other siblings, how you treat your community. If my son or my daughter go to the store with me and I treat the cashier bad, that's the brand I'm portraying. I don't want my children to see that, because that right there affects my core value. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you for that. It's I even visualized exactly what you were saying, and it makes so much sense. Thank you for that. Much appreciated.
Oh, you're welcome. I just want you to realize you instead of you trying to become something, just be it. That's the key. Too many people try to be something that they're not, versus just saying, you know what? There's only one of me on the whole planet, your fingerprints, your DNA, everything that all of us in this room have. We're uniquely different than everybody else. The only thing that we all really have in common is the power of choice. But we also have the power of rejection. We don't have to accept everything. This is what happens to a lot of people. See, I'm 60, right? When I was growing up, my dad taught me this principle. He said, son, no substance, no abuse. No substance, no abuse. Now, think about it. I'm 12, 13 years old. My father's teaching me a principle about substance. Now, when you're young, you don't know anything about substance. All you know is that everybody in the neighborhoods, they're drinking alcohol, they're smoking cigarettes, they're smoking dope, and they don't realize that this substance can control their life. They don't know that, because all of us wants to be accepted by, quote unquote, our peer group. But because my father taught me that, I've never tasted alcohol in my life. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never done a drug. Not because I can't, it's because I was given a value of me not allowing a substance to be bigger than I am. And when you do that in life, it changes your perception. Because now I'm 60 and I see all of the people I grew up with that have difficulties. Now they're either addicted to something, or they go to Alcohol Anonymous now. They're not drinking, but every day they have to fight it. Why? Because they have allowed this substance to control how they live. Okay. Or they got involved with women to the point where now they have multiple children. Why? Because they did not control their appetite or their feelings, and now they're living a life where, now I always say, you can't change the past. It's immutable and it cannot be altered. But I should be able to change how I look and perceive the future. I should change my behavior because I can't go back and change what happened yesterday. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Awesome. All right. Mark, I think we are ready. Life from the inside out. You guys see that? Look at that little thing right there. Life from the inside out. Now, guys, we're creating this stuff on the fly as we go too. So it's some beautiful stuff that we're trying to create for our channel, because we want people. Our channel is going to be like a regular television channel. That's why we're doing what we're doing. The only difference is like we have an open podcast where we're going to be showing things, discussing things, but we don't want to just lecture, because I've learned this, and my wife and I have this conversation all the time. How many people go to school when you're young and there's a teacher up in front, and you're going to either get incomplete or you're going to get something else from the teacher's viewpoint, not from your viewpoint. Okay. Then you get to middle school and now they got to letter grades, A through F, now you're being again evaluated by someone else in front of a room. Then you go to college and they give you this syllabus, and they say, pass or fail, pass or fail. Then you finish college and now you're in the work world and they give you 90-day evaluations. Always someone evaluating you versus you getting to evaluate yourself. It is so interesting that even I go to church, my wife and I have been in the same fellowship for 47 years. Even in church, there's a person up there lecturing to us, or what they call doing a sermon to us, versus, all the people communicating among each other and learning from each other. Now, I do personally believe that there is wisdom in a multitude of counselors or advisors. At the same time, when do we take those principles and apply them to our lives versus us just always being lectured to, versus us taking self-evaluation and us making sure that instead of someone telling me something, that I want to make sure that they're demonstrating it. Like some people ask me the question, I don't know how people live when they leave my presence. But when they leave my presence, they should know how I live, because I should always be respectful. So when you come to my space, there's 3 things I will always attempt to do with you: edification, exhortation, and comfort. I will not do anything but encourage you to be the best you that you can be. There is nothing else I have in me. I've been this way my whole life. I encourage people, I edify people, and I comfort them. So no matter what you're going through in life, you got to know that there's another side to the coin. Okay? Hey, Mufa, you have to mute, Mufa. Okay, thanks. So those are the kind of things in the areas that I think that most people miss out on. Okay? So, Mark, the next video, if you're ready to go. Miss Nikki, you're so quiet today, Miss Nikki. Why?
I just love to hear a deep conversation, and then also I'm monitoring the audience for you so I could bring these people up for you.
Thank you, Nikki. You're so kind. Nikki's our co-host, helping us bring people up and down. All right. Mark, I know you're setting up the next video, it'd be greatly appreciated. When we get this all set, guys, Chatter will have a Chatter studio too, to where everything will be done inside the Chatter studio in the background, so that everything will be. You guys will see Chatter. That's a Chatter bot, BOT, and that's allow us to operate Chatter from a desktop viewpoint, and it gives us a lot more opportunity to show video and do stuff like that. But at the same time, you need someone to work that. So that's what we're doing now. All right.
Hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, we'll hear you now.
All right, thank you. For some reason, I got blocked out, but I'm glad you guys can hear me now. So, was there anything anybody picked up? Hello, Hope, welcome. And I think it's Chikai. Is that how you pronounce it, Chikai? Is that how you pronounce your name? Chichi. How you pronounce your name? Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Just make sure you can hear me. No one can hear me again? Can you hear me, Nikki? Mark, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. So, Hope, welcome. Rufo, did you pick anything up? Can any one of you hear me? I just want to make sure we get some. I know you can hear me loud and clear, Mark, but I want to make sure. Hope, can you hear me, or are you just there? Mike, Michael's back. Chico, Chichi. How do you pronounce your name? Okay. Well, again, welcome to the power of core values, life from the inside out, living a life of principle, living a life that is balanced based on who you are as a person who lives by precepts and principles, not by just the feelings and emotions that we have. It gives us a great core. Core value is very important. Live by principle makes a world of difference. Um, so I hope some of you picked up some of the things on there. Uh, Mark, if you want to go ahead and play, I think there's one more video, right? And then we should be good to go. And then you'll be able to, when you're ready, we can continue our conversation, but at least you'll be able to uh, do your other meeting if you have to, okay? When you're ready. So go ahead and queue up the other video, and then we'll be good to go. Does anyone want to chime in or anything or say anything that you got from the last video? I learned social audio, guys. And one of the things I've learned about social audio, I think it's more social listening. People like to social listen. You could name it social listening. All righty. And Mark, there should be a different one. We already saw this one. I think you got should be number 4. Number 4. The title is Discipline. Yeah, okay, so 1 second here. Make sure I got the right one for you. Hold on. So how many do you have there? What's the total number? 4? You have 4 or 5? How many videos do you have there that I numbered? Okay, so just hit number just hit number 5. Hit number 5 or number 6 to see that they're different. Nope. Okay, go to number 6. Go to number 6. Yeah, go number 6. Yeah, no problem. I wanted the one that we haven't played yet. I thought we had them there clearly in order, but sometimes they get confusion. I think I'll send them singular next time versus in a group. All right. Give me a second. Go ahead. You could 1 second here. Give me a second, everyone. Got to pull up this send this video to me. Okay. Wow. That's some heavy, heavy duty stuff there, guys. Woo! Rich, 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 rich. So this is pretty good today. Nikki, did you pick up anything, Nikki? Did you like anything today?
Like I said, I'm just enjoying the conversation at the same time, and I'm multitasking at the same time.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear your pup. Mafo, Mhofu. I got to learn how to pronounce your name. Did you pick up anything today?
Yes, I did. I picked up quite a lot actually. This last video really made me start thinking when he's talking about constructing some discipline into your life. And this is an aspect that I have been procrastinating on, and it basically is the key to unlocking a lot of the places and areas where you feel stuck. It's just motivating yourself. Well, I don't know if it's the motivation you need for the discipline, or they work hand in hand together. But yeah, it's really, really good. You understand everything. Discipline comes with boundaries as well, that you have to just kind of put up as guiding points of who you really are. And yeah, it's very eye-opening.
Well, I thank you for coming by today. So, if you look at the word motivation, the first part of it is motive. So, if you're motivated to be disciplined, then it's going to be what you do, discipline. But motive is always the key ingredient. What am I motivated to do and why am I doing it? So I got to look at the motive or the principle of something. What outcome am I looking for? And discipline is a repeated behavior so you get the same result. I think that's what a lot of people don't like life because they don't like the same routine all the time. But routines is what brings you freedom. Because, like you said, the word boundary, that's why we have rules of the road. Again, run way, go back, railroad crossings, yield. Why? Because if we do not stay in our lane and we cross the double lines of life, we're going to end up having an accident. And how many of us have made choices where we end up our life in accidents because we crossed the double line, or we didn't yield in the traffic, or we went into a sign where it says "Do not enter," but we decided to enter anyway because we don't think it's going to happen to us. That's for somebody else. So it's a very good thing. Again, the power of core value. So welcome to again Inside Out Living. Every Thursday, this is what we'll be doing on Thursday. Every Monday, we have conservative voices. We talk everything about why should we conserve and why is conservative values important and why should we conserve anything. I think that's very important. And why did America, why do our founding fathers want to have limited government? It was for a reason because it wanted us to have self government. We govern ourselves as individuals. Every Tuesday, we have faith filled Tuesdays. Faith Tuesdays, living a life of faith and operating on a principle of knowing that that's a substance, a real substance. Every Wednesday, we have building strong connections from single, marriage, divorce, and remarried. We want to build up people because a lot of people continue to say, oh, the dating world's really bad and everything else. But yet, if we're not all good individual people, then we're not going to find someone that we can share our life with. In relationship, we can only bring to relationship who we are. So if I don't have anything to offer someone, that person's not going to get anything from me. So if I'm a person who's chaotic, when that person I meet, they're going to get chaos. If I'm not a good communicator, that person's going to get a person that's not a good communicator. So let's make sure we build our own connections first to us, and then we can bring that to relationship and share that with not only our spouses, our significant others, and our children, but to the greater world. And Thursdays, you guys heard me already say Inside Out Living. And then every Friday, which will be tomorrow, which is Facts Friday, we talk about things that are unchangeable. Like we're in fall right now, guys. I'm 60 years old. It's never changed. It's always been fall. There's 1,440 minutes in every day. There's 12 months, 4 seasons. These things are what we call fixed facts. And if I live based on facts, I'm going to have a much better life than me try to live a life which way outside the box. I hope that makes sense to everyone. And that's what we do. And then sometimes on Saturday, Sunday, we have Dead Talks, which is the death care profession, which I'm in, which we'll be having that on some of these days too. And then we also have what we call Ed Talks. So we had Death Care Speaks, and then we have Ed Talks. Ed Talks are just different topics. We have some open discussions, all different kind of things about the role of the man, the role of the woman, the role of children, divisions of labor, all kind of different things. Any type of open topic that we can have that's actually going to build value and give people principles. That's what this channel is about. This channel is only about growth and connection. And at the top, there's a link up here called Conservative Voices. That's our magazine. And if you want to just avail yourself to that, you can click the link up there. There's a QR code, everything else, and how you can purchase the magazine and become part of that community also. And we have another magazine coming out called Death Care Speak coming out soon. Actually, it's going to be this month. So we'll be availing you guys of all these different things. But again, thank you so very much for coming. And we're going to stay here. I know Mark he has another